You know, they say when we go through our struggles and loss, that's what makes us stronger. But you don't feel like it when you're going through it. And I've gone through more than most people will ever go through in their life. I was married in 1990, had 2 kids, and in 1991, my mother dies of leukemia. I was gutted. I was in my late 20s. A year and a half later, my brother dies when a clot broke off in his lung, and he died of a massive heart attack at 34 years old. I was in shock. I didn't even cry for hours until it hit me. A year after that, my father dies of ALS. Well, this just gets better. My father always told me to rise above, but I really didn't know what it meant until I got older. In 95, the wife that I married leaves me and has an affair when my children are both small, 2 and 3. And I leave the house, went on my own, cried myself to sleep every night, because you never think your first love is going to do that to you. You're shattered. And I was down. Oh, I was down. I was living in an empty apartment with sleeping on rolled up foam. Cried myself to sleep. And then the one thing I could work on, I worked on, which was me. I changed my hairstyle. I shaved off my mustache. I had the old porno mustache back then. I started training again. I used to train. I competed in 1989. So I knew how to train. I knew how to change myself, and I did. And met a gal, wife number 2, after paying child support for 2 kids, like a man, for wife number 1, $840 a month, when I made $2,000 a month. I went to work every day as a salesman. Got on the phone as a cold caller for a commercial laundry. Hey, Greg here from Canadian Linen. As I hung up the phone, I'd bawl. And in between calls, I'd bawl. But when I was on that call, I called. And I worked my way up in the company. And I put my feelings aside to keep moving forward. Because nothing was going to get me down. Nothing would keep me down. It'll get me down, but it won't keep me down. I got myself into it. I can get myself out of it. Only me. No one's going to help you. No one helped me. I helped myself. Remarried, number 2. Big mistake, red flags. Did it anyways. Guys are shallow. I'm going to be able to teach on this one. That lasted 3.5 years. I left. I was unfaithful. I had the regret of that. I know what that feels like. To have it done to me and to do it to someone else. The marriage was already dead, but I did it anyways. And I felt like a bag of shit. And I had to deal with that. I had to put that in its place. She remarried. I had to pay her spousal support. She died at 40. I remarried. I started my own company, my second one. I know I'm all over the fucking map here, but I'm just telling you who I am. Started my first one when I was 18. I bought a cafeteria, a snack bar, and a gym, and I ran it for a couple of years. I worked 7 days a week, 14 hours a day. I learned a lot. Second business, after working for a commercial laundry, was a uniform company that I started from this and connections. And I built it from nothing to 1,000 customers. And I sold it to start another business. And when I started that other business, I met wife number 3. I know, I'm fucking retarded. But I'm not. I learned. Don't get all sensitive on me and what I say, because I've got to be me. And red flags were just going everywhere with number 3. And I did it anyways, because I didn't know the power of a narcissist. I sure learned. Built that business. Went into the metal recycling industry. Went from nothing. Me and a truck, my back and my brain. And I built it to be one of the largest processors of catalytic converters on the West Coast. Our third year, I did 47 million in sales. I acquired companies. I learned how to crush cars. I had 50 employees. I had 9 locations. I was in Mexico, Alberta. I had 22 trucks. I know a thing or two. But I was in a loveless, dead relationship with a power, love-sucking, covert narcissist. And I left. I left everything behind because I believed there was more for me in the future than all of that. I was living in a $2.25 million house. Beautiful home. Built it from scratch. I didn't. But a builder did. Had land right on a beautiful river. Went to court. I lost everything in court. Everything. I lost the house, lost the content, lost the land. Had to pay a massive spousal support. And what I got was 2 companies that I started that were already insolvent because the rules of the game had changed and I didn't change with it. My fault. Me, my fault. Everything, my fault. Did I ever learn the hard way? But I was wealthy. So if you know how to do it once, you know how to do it again. And the company went bankrupt earlier this year. So I'm the broke millionaire. But I have more stories to tell, more instruction to give, more topics to lay down on specifics than you can shake a stick at. I got more content in my mind and in my experience at 57 years than most will ever want to. And you don't have to. Because I'll be able to help a lot avoid the pitfalls that I fell into. And I can teach you how to avoid them. And I'll go into a lot of them. Jocko says, pain. What does he say about pain? It's good. What does Tate say about pain? Good. Good. It is good. Because it teaches you. Pain has been my only teacher. Some people learn with a feather. Some people learn with a fucking 2x4. And unfortunately, I was one of those. But I woke up. And I reached out into certain communities. And if you're hearing this, follow me. Because I'm going to make a lot more of these, and I'm going to go into detail all these various areas, like relationships, like bankruptcy, like trusting staff, having people steal from you. Banking, bankruptcy, loans. So much that you may already be dealing with it right now. You may be maneuvering your way through, and the fucking train's coming at you, and you know your company's going down. I'm going to be the guy. I wish I had me to talk to me when I was going through this. The me now. Because I've been feeding on these inspirational gurus, and I know the difference now between motivation and discipline. Discipline is everything. That's why all these groups call for getting up at 5, training. It's to develop discipline so that you can be excellent. All you young ones out there, 18, 19, 17 years old. Wow. Imagine what you can go, imagine what will happen to you with some of these lessons that I can teach you how to maneuver. So follow me.